This is the thing, and like I said, I have no ill will towards Ryan at all. If he has an issue with me, that's his issue. I don't have a problem with him. Like what he said to what you're saying, he's not factoring in like just the mental hurdle that it takes. Like I've tried pushing it forward. I've tried doing more. I've tried, and like I've talked to you guys a lot about this. Like I've tried. And like I didn't get anywhere. It was like mentally fucking breaking me to where I just went and put my hands up and said, "Hey, I'm not doing it anymore." At the end of the day, like I need to protect my own mental health and my own just sanity. You know, I get that sucks, and I get that that's might be a bit annoying. But on the flip side of it, like him saying that is like when I did try to do it, and the same way I've tried to do it now. Like pros don't back you up on it. Like a lot of pros don't, and I don't fault them for that. It just is one of those things. It is what it is. I tried pushing vetoes. Majority of pros have said they want to push vetoes, and like no, and I talked to 343 about it. I talked to Esport Engine about it, and it just kind of dies there. It's a mental battle to try to improve something that you just have no control over. It's unfortunate I did have that realization that it was just really hurting me mentally. Like I'm just a happier person because I'm not worried about shit like that, and that's for competitively, for as big of a voice as we probably have, and you know I'll say that I have, like that probably sucks when you don't have a lot of people backing you with stuff whether you're fighting, and it feels like it's just you versus the world. Like I just kind of lost to the point of the mental battle. Like it was to the point where like I'm like arguing with Tashi, I'm arguing with Richie, I'm arguing and fighting with all these people, and it's like it's just me. Why am I rolling up to a tournament stressed that I even have to like see XYZ person when like no one else has that feeling? Do you guys think that's fair to everything I said? Like I think with some of it is like I wish, if anything, to like what he's saying on like some of the issues he's had with me in the past. I probably wish I went about it better. I was way more harsh back in the day. I was younger. I was just mentally just felt like I was fighting everyone all the time. You know, it's just one of those things. Like it felt like it was like us versus the world kind of thing. I definitely should have been trying to push stuff a little bit harder. I remember he came to me and like wanted to do like a pro player like union kind of thing, and I basically said like, hey dude, like if you want to do it, that's up to you. I'll be there, throw my vote in, but like I'm not running this shit. Going back to 2016 and 2017 and 2018, like and even through 2019 and 2020, like I was such a stressed human being. I fucking hated competing. Like I loved it and I was obsessed with it. I fucking hated it. And the only reason I hated it for the large majority of it was because I was fighting so much of this shit that like we're kind of talking about, and I would push for it and push for it and push for it and push for it, and then like it wouldn't happen, and it just broke me down to the point where I'm like, well fuck this. Bro, I was like great friends with Strong Side. I don't talk to him anymore. Like I mean he's fucking off planet Earth now and not even in gaming, but like we've like unfollowed each other on Twitter because he worked for 343, and in Halo 5 he was our pro player coordinator, and I would literally go to him and just roast him and roast 343. Was that probably the nicest thing to do? No. To be fair, I also did clarify, I know it's not your fault to him all the fucking time, but it's my livelihood. So the only way to push this shit is you got to be like on it. Like you see how Sparring gets shit changed? He literally is like on Twitter ranting about it, going on, and it's like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing to him. Like credit to him, man, for being able to do it. And I've said this to Tyler because Tyler's written me as well. Tyler being Sparring has written me as well and has said like, hey man, can you back me up? And like I tell him all the time, like yeah, I'll hit you with a tweet and like retweet it or whatever, 100%. But like I can't be the one leading the shit because anytime I try to, one, I either don't get backed up on it, or two, the shit just doesn't go anywhere. My whole team will tell you, bro. In 2016, 2017, I went to fucking war with 343. I went to fucking war with them. And I'll tell you what, it didn't lead fucking anywhere. Ryan makes the point that you have a bigger voice at the time because of who you were in the sport, winning a Hall of Famer like 343 would listen to you. Yeah, they didn't though. That's the part that he's missing in that conversation is I did try, and my whole team can back me up on that. I tried, and it didn't work. Honestly, the thing that I probably did wrong is that I wasn't on Twitter fucking bitching. I was in private chats, private calls, and stuff like that, trying to do stuff, and like it didn't get anywhere. It literally drove me to a point where I said, I don't know if I want to compete anymore. And it's not because of the game; it's because of like I just literally didn't want to put up with the fucking bullshit anymore. That sounds harsh, but it's like I'm sure you guys understand this in terms of a mentality thing. Like it fucking sucks, man. Like it's tough when you're sitting there and you're on phone calls and this and that and putting all this time and effort into something and it doesn't happen. It's like, it just feels like you're fucking doing something for nothing, and that's literally what it was. I think what I said is pretty fair. Could I have said stuff better, done more, this, that? Like for sure, man. Nobody's perfect. I certainly wasn't fucking perfect. If I offended somebody, like maybe I offended him, I definitely don't feel great about that. At the same time, like what am I going to do? You know what I mean? Like I said that shit 4 or 5 years ago. Like what am I going to do? I remember the back and forth on the Beyond forums back in the day too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I would go to the forums and I'd fucking, you know, bitch about Halo and bitch about 343 and, you know, and I would just go ham. If you guys saw some of the DMs I sent to Strong Side of me just roasting 343 and even some of it with him, like, because this is the thing. This is the hardest thing. With Strong Side, I was friends with Strong Side. I was teammates with Strong Side. Really angry, and I'd roast him. Like when he would reply to me in like a corporate way, I would cook him, and it wasn't like in a nasty way that's like, oh my god, you're the worst person in the world. It was just like me basically calling him a fucking drone, you know. And it's like what he should have done then was like wrote me. Like privately wrote me, and like he could have texted me and been like, hey man, like just want you to know I see where you're coming from here, but like there's nothing that we can do or I can do, like I'm trying for you, or just something like that. Does that make any sense? The angry snake, bro, you had to be back then, you know what I mean? Like you had to be. For the most part, from my perspective, is unless you were sniped down complaining about something, shit wasn't getting changed. This is the thing. I bet Eric felt the same way. That like I bet Eric felt like he was fighting a losing battle all the fucking time. But you know, it's like I said, what are you gonna do? It's words from fucking years ago that I just wouldn't probably say now ever, because I'm a different person than I was 4 years ago. So I mean, what are you gonna do, right?